What's cracking, everybody? XehrFelrose here, bringing you some Pokemon Go Battle League content. And in today's video, we are going to be taking a look at a shoutcast submitted to the channel by fellow trainer, member of the community, Mr. Moustache 991. Thank you so much for the battle submission. And we're going to jump right into these battles here as we get in. We've got a team of a Shadow Politoed, Shadow Electivire, and Hypno. And I saw the Electivire. I'm like, no, there's no way I'm passing this up. So we get a Politoed lead, mirror lead in the beginning here, and we're going straight for the Weather Ball. Now, one thing that you could do if you're in this matchup, and it's really interesting at the opponent's shield, I think these are submitted as like rank 16, 17, 18 battles. So this certainly isn't going to be like elite level play from like, you know, top world trainers, because most of them, I mean, there's people who've hit legend already, but I think that this is still going to be a good, fun shoutcast. The opponent's going to swap into the Dragonair, and this trainer's going to swap into his Hypno. Now, he will notice that there is Psychic on the Hypno. He did let me know that definitely want to run Shadow Ball in the Hypno. He did forget to TM it and just started running with it, so it happens. I've definitely, I mean, you go back a week ago, and I had Ominous Wind and Shadow Ball on my Drifblim, so it happens. So, gonna Confusion down, even shields, tons of energy, able to throw Thunder Punches into the Politoed if it comes back in. But what I was saying earlier is one thing that you could do if you're in that lead where you have the Politoed mirrors, you might want to fake the Earthquake at least. That'll be more likely to get a shield. If I were the opponent here and I knew that this trainer was only throwing a Weather Ball, I definitely would have no shielded that, because I know that's resisted damage. Now, going for the Psychic for the stab damage, going to get to this Weather Ball, but the Politoed catches it, but Electivire's in the back, and you know what's going to one-shot that little Granule? It's going to be, oh, look at how much damage those Thunder Shocks are doing, dude. Going straight for the Wild Charge. Now, since you have a shield, I would have definitely decided to go up to maybe 2 Wild Charges here, just so the Charms don't do that much damage. Luckily, able to get to the Ice Punch just in time. Could have gone for the Wild Charge here, but I think that this is going to definitely do enough damage to take out the Grand Bull, and that's going to be a good game. Very well played. A couple extra things that we could do there to guarantee shields and potentially get some more, I can't speak today. You are getting me. Doing some more consistent gameplay, but that's okay. So we've got the Politoed on the lead against the Haxorus. Again, the opponents are shielding. You know, typically you'll see this in like when you first start the season. There'll be, you know, players who they kind of shield everything. I definitely think that safe swapping into the Hypno here would have been the play, because you do have Ice Punch on the Electivire, and those Confusions will chunk. So the opponent decides to swap in their Muck, and the Hypno is going to come out to just Confusion down. You can easily eat a Dark Pulse here as well. What are you doing? There's no reason, and then it's just a Thunder Punch anyway, so that's fine. Going to be able to Confusion down, have a ton of energy, and the Haxorus can come back in, and it's going to have to eat a Psychic if it wants to live, but I think this Breaking Swipe won't do enough damage to KO the Hypno. Hypno's pretty bulky in the Great League even, and going to get the Psychic off, even though with the attack drop, the Haxorus will have to shield this because it is extremely squishy. The Haxorus shields up, tries to go for this farm down here, and we're going to see what happens. I think that with the Politoed, you just come in, eat the energy, and then Electivire with a shield sweep. So, comes in immediately with the Weather Ball. Is this going to be enough damage from a Shadow Politoed despite being resisted? Weather Ball is somehow enough damage. Clefable's going to come in, and I think I can see the writing on the wall here. As Home Slice Henry would say, Electivire is going to one-shot this Clefable. So I think we're just waiting for the energy to come off of the Clefable here. Yep, there's a CMP tie. Lets it no shield. Easily can just come in, go for the Wild Charge, and clap this Clefable's little fairy cheeks. You like fairy cheeks, don't you? You are a fairy. Gonna shield up a move here, even though it's probably just a Meteor Mash. This will do resisted damage, but even though it's resisted, but Electivire is squishy. So it'll probably like do 80%. But we'll take a Wild Charge to take out the Clefable, and that's gonna be a good game. Well played. Going into this next one here, we're gonna have the Politoed on the lead versus a Ninetales. This is exactly where you want to see the Ninetales. Good lead here. The opponent stays in for some strange reason, able to get to a Weather Ball right before the before anything else can happen here, and forcing a shield off the opponent. They're probably running one mono fire moveset, as most Ninetales will have Overheat. Both shields off early, as the opponent might be core broken by the Politoed, and I don't think the opponent knew what to expect here. Blizzard one-shots the Serperior. I don't even know who the snake. They're all snakes, dude. And Umbreon's going to come in. This is worth a shield. Going to maybe go for another Blizzard here. You definitely can't let the Umbreon get attached to that Hypno. You're so goofy. But Electivire would absolutely feast on this right now. So we're going to go for this Weather Ball here. It looks like get some extra chip damage in. I think that this gameplay is probably just fine. And for anybody asking, the trainer submitting this specifically had asked to have some critiques on any of the gameplay that I think that they could have done better on. So if it seems like I'm a little overly critical in this video, that might be why. But regardless, I still think that this is an exciting team. Electivire is extremely spicy. Shielding up, gonna go for this thunder shock down, but instead the opponent brings in the Ninetales, goes for a fast move. Wild Charge takes out the Ninetales, and the opponent decides to concede the game. Coming into this next battle here, we're going to have a Cofagrigus on the lead, so this is not exactly a good lead by any means. Cofagrigus can absolutely steamroll this team if it's played correctly, so we're going to have to see what Mr. Moustache wants to do. I think I just realized I misspelled his name. It's Mr. Moustache. There's only one O in the second part. I could try and fix that, but I don't know if I'm... It's fine. We know it's in the video. We know his name. It's all right. It's okay. Trainer was brave enough to send in these battles, so we're just gonna honor him that way. So Weather Ball is gonna get a lot of damage off on this Cofagrigus, and Politoed is gonna be able to get to a third Weather Ball before the opponent is gonna be able to get to another charge move. Weather Ball is gonna get the shield off of this Cofagrigus, and the opponent decides to throw energy here. The Politoed's going to go down, and we're going to see something coming in farm. Here's the Hypno is going to get the confusion down, and we're going to see what they have in the back. Hypno in the opponent's side. Ooh, this would be a perfect opportunity to have Shadow Ball, unfortunately, and I think this trainer is very well aware of this, so not going to harp on it or anything. But having that Psychic does not do us much here. You definitely want to go for the neutral Thunder Punch, even though I assume he's probably looking for the debuff, but you definitely want to go for the neutral Thunder Punch damage there, as it would be spammier. You might have been able to get to a whole third Thunder Punch, and it probably would have been enough to KO the Hypno, if I'm being honest from there. So, with one shield remaining, but a ton of farm against the Hypno, we just decide we're going to go and top left. Now, if I'm being completely honest here, I think there might have been a chance to make that game work, because if the opponent's got Thunder Punch and Shadow Ball, if you had correctly shielded the Shadow Ball, there might have been a farm down there. And there's a chance that maybe what they had in the back was just incredibly weak to Cofagrigus. But that's okay. Sometimes you don't want to play him out, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm certainly guilty of it plenty of times myself. Meteor Mash is going to do resisted damage. If you're the opposing trainer here, you definitely want to be going for that Moonblast. Meteor Mash is a Steel-type move that the Water types resist. Weather Ball is going to hit the Clefable, and this looks like a farm down opportunity almost, but this Politoed will have to shield in order to do it. So, gonna let it go. Meteor Mash does not KO the Politoed. We get the farm down. Meganium is gonna eat a resistant Weather Ball, but that's okay. I think Electivire could come in here with some Thunder Punches, or Hypno could come in for some neutral damage. Then the Hypno is going to come in being as bulky as it is. Going for Psychic is not an awful thing here. Definitely, again, we would want to have that Shadow Ball in normal situations, but Psychic does hit for neutral damage against the Meganium, and that's going to be enough, because if the opponent doesn't see it coming, or no shields, this will nearly KO the Meganium. And they do decide to shield, so that puts the Electivire up a shield in an incredibly good advantage here, because all Electivire needs is shield and some farm, and he can go to town. So we're going to see Electivire come in and get to work, going for this Ice Punch right on the... No, it wasn't the CMP, I don't think. Going for the Ice Punch against the Meganium. Are they going to shield? Because if they do, the Electivire does get to the next Ice Punch before the Meganium is going to be able to get to another Frenzy Plant. So what do they have in the back? Trainers, let's find out. As the opponent throws the Frenzy Plant, gets the shield, Ice Punch, goes for the Ice Punch catch, able to overfarm by a lot here. Double Wild Charge is definitely going to be enough to KO the Registeel, and I think that you could certainly make a case for overfarming just a bit. No, but we have a shield, and that's all right. Now you can overfarm up to 2 more moves, go for the Wild Charge, go for the Ice Punch, and KO this opponent's rest of their team. Perfectly executed, very well done by Mr. Moustache himself. And now the Wild Charge is going to take it, and you know what, just because... And now Ice Punch is going to come through, and I actually don't know how much damage this does to Meganium, but I know it's enough, and we take out the Meganium as well. Well played. Nope, just completely cut that. All right, anyway, we're good. A Grovyle on the lead. This is not what you want to see. Instant switch into Hypno is good. Torracat, what is this middle evolution spice, dude? This is great. I love... That's the nice thing that I love watching these lower, you know, the number ranked video, or not video, the number ranked, battles, lower ranked battles, you know, before you hit rank 20 in Ace, there's almost always some spice, and I always appreciate the amount of spice that comes out of these trainers, because there's stuff you would never see in here, and I love it. All right, so with the opponent having some bullet seeds, that was like 3 or 4 bullet seeds. I think this might be a leaf blade here. Gonna shield it up, but we could go for the ice punches here if we can. All right, so there's the timing. So we want to be going for one more thunderbolt. No, thunderbolt. Thunder shock. There's so many thunder moves in this game. I can't remember them off the top of my head. When I have little one here barraging her way through my... Yeah, I know. All right. So when you have... It's a timing thing. When you have a 2-turn move like Thunder Shock versus a 3-turn move like Bullet Seed, you're going to want to throw on 1, 4, 7, etc. of your own moves, because that's going to allow you to... Oh, they go for the Iron Bash, and that's resisted. Trainer, you should have gone for just one more fast move to get to a Rock Slide or something, because this Wild Charge is going to hurt. Oh, that's not the button I was looking for, but we'll take it. There, kaboom. Oh my goodness. I'm so backwards right now. This little one is driving me nuts. Heat more. Dude, what is this? This is spice, and I love it. Getting a really good lead with the Politoed here, but anyway, the timing. So if you're throwing a 2-turn move into a 3-turn move, you want to throw on 1, 4, 7 for good timing, so that your opponent doesn't sneak entire fast moves through and get free energy and damage. It's not worth it, because the more of those that get to slip through the cracks, the more likely it is that the game can be lost just because of those alone. One free Bullet Seed or Snarl is a lot of energy. That's, over 25% of most fast move charge moves. Okay, so this is kind of awkward. You need the Politoed for the Heatmore, but coming into an Umbreon that is loaded on energy with the Hypno, unless we're just planning to sack it, which very well may be the play here. Otherwise, this is just kind of a questionable move on the trainer's mark here, but I will respect it and see if they have a strategy behind this move. Thunder Punch is going to get a shield from the Umbreon, which is surprising. You can easily now just let this go. All right, you know what? I'll keep my mouth shut. I think this trainer is a lot better at this than that decision by itself looks. So going for this Weather Ball here, that was good timing on 1, 2, 3, 4 of the Mud Shots, and now the Weather Ball is going to take out. No disrespect to this trainer, by the way. Even though they're in the numbered ranks, there's nothing wrong with the way they battle. You get used to seeing certain things done certain ways for so long that players that are in a different bubble than you typically are used to, sometimes it takes you off guard, but there's nothing wrong with that. So we farm down here. We straight farm down here. The superpower comes through. This person is running the absolute Lord of Spice. Darmanitan goes down, and we're going to have double Wild Charge. But we Thunder Shock down the Umbreon because it's out of energy. Wild Charge is going to just destroy this Heatmore and its entire family, and that's going to be a good game. Well played. Taking out the Heatmore, and that's going to be a good game. Yeah, Maggie's cheering too. That was a great set of battles. Love the Electivire Spice. Thank you again, Mr. Moustache, for sending in these battles. And dear trainers, if you would also like to submit some battles to the channel for shoutcasting, go ahead and check the pinned comment and the description below for links to a Google form, as well as links to support the channel from my Patreon and via Metafy if you're looking for some coaching. And that's going to do it for us. Thank you all so much for watching. We're going to catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.